every Friday, per tradition, we give you a chance to blow off a little steam. We give you a little chance to say what needs to be said, right? This is a tradition we call Trash Talk. And we got one here from Alex who says, honest question. When it came to that Nazi that was celebrated in the House of Commons, are you aware of any MPs who did not stand for the ovation? Like, were there cameras on everybody? If there was anybody who didn't applaud, they were sure hard to see. It looked like all of them did. I was shocked, says Alex, that a significant number of them didn't clue in and think, wait a second, he fought the Soviets in World War II? The Soviets were our allies. Doesn't that mean he fought with the Nazis? Alex says, I'm by no means a history expert, but that's rather basic history. He said, I haven't even heard it mentioned, by the way, that Vladimir Zelensky is Jewish, but that's also important to note. It just makes this whole disaster even worse, says Alex, who's absolutely right. This from David. David says, can we please talk about why conservatives are creating noise and distractions around non-issues like the LGBTQ community, groomers, pedophiles, books, libraries, getting rid of, canceling books they don't like so you won't notice them, downgrading education and shifting your kids into the workforce as cheap labor? It's happening in the U.S. It can happen in Canada, just like all the other shit storms that have slowly washed over the border. That from David, who's telling us to keep an eye out. Gerald says to me, talk about this Alberta Pension Plan that's being missed. A lot of people have worked in Alberta oil, but then they've retired elsewhere. So yeah, the draw from the rest of Canada appears to say Alberta's a net contributor. But that's because there's a lot of people drawing from the pension that left Alberta when they hit that point in their life. Why are we talking about this, wonders Gerald? Interesting point, Gerald. How about this one from Lindsay, who says, Ryan, she starts off with an olive branch, Johnny. It's a bit of a shit sandwich, but She starts off with an olive branch. She says, I just want to start off by saying how much I love listening to Real Talk. Thank you, Lindsay. She says, you do an excellent job in bringing both sides to the table. I have to say, though, there was one comment of yours that really pissed me off. You were interviewing a guest on your show about that March for Children, the Million March for Children, and you were talking about how sad it is and how, teachers and leaders and mentors are being verbally attacked, and she says, I agree. She says, I don't remember who the guest was. I think she's talking about the Alberta mayors, like Kathy Heron and Trina Jones and Tyler Gandam. By the way, Gandam, the new president of Alberta Municipalities, congratulations to him. He won the election. Yeah, the studio audience loves that stuff. But Lindsay says, I don't remember who, so your guest said she was sad by the amount of hate spewed on both sides. And she said it was hard to even tell which side was which because everybody was yelling at each other. And then you said, Ryan, I know how to tell. Just ask them who's got their COVID booster shots, and you'll be able to tell what side they're on, which I actually thought was a really good joke, by the way. And then she says, Lindsay, this comment did not sit well with me, Ryan, because you made the conversation about vaccines instead of the children, right? Like, maybe you are right in knowing what side vaccinated people are on, or maybe you're wrong, but it just made me start thinking about vaccines instead of what the conversation was really supposed to be about. So, anyway, like I said, says Lindsay, here's the shit sandwich part. Here's the other piece of bread. I love listening to your show. I love getting fired up about issues, so I'm going to continue to listen. She says I listen during my warm-up and my cool-down on my run. So keep up the good work. Lindsay, I hope you hear this while you're running today. Thanks for contributing. This from Michelle, who says, there's another application, everybody, by Northback Mines, formerly Banga. They want to explore, mine, and invade the eastern slopes of our Rockies or any part of southern Alberta to explore coal and mining and other industrial development. Our headwaters and our lands are not for sale, says Michelle. We made this abundantly clear after former Minister Savage rescinded the long-standing coal policy. And despite public outcry, the government persists. Albertans en masse want no part of coal mining and the destruction that comes along with it. This summer was marred by drought, wildfire, air quality warnings, and missed opportunities. I like how she put that. She says this is a chance to protect the province that we profess to love, to speak for the people that we live alongside. Albertans are beyond concerned for our province, our environment, our climate, and our future, and our elected officials must act in our best interests, not in the best interests of the mining companies. That from Michelle, who signed off, by the way, most sincerely. I like that one.
Okay.
And this one from Lindsay to take us into the Thanksgiving weekend. She says, you know what really grinds my gears, Jespo? People in their leaf blowers. Like, seriously. What is there, like some sort of secret leaf blowing competition I don't know about? It's like they're auditioning in my neighborhood for Leaf Blower of the Year. What really takes the cake is when these leaf blowing enthusiasts are using these superpower machines to blow all their pesky leaves onto my lawn. This sounds like a bit of a neighbor issue here with Lindsay. She says, I get it. Leaves are a pain in the butt to deal with, but let's not pretend like blasting them into my yard is a solution. It's like trying to clean your house by shoving all your clutter under my bed. And the best part, they're always doing it with this innocent, like, oh, I'm just doing my fall cleanup look on their faces, like they're performing some sort of public service. I've seen your leaf piles making their way onto my lawn like leafy invaders plotting to take over my kingdom. I love this, Lindsay. She says, so here's a thought. How about we all agree to keep our leaves on our own lawns and spare our neighbors from your leaf tyranny? It's time to end the great leaf migration. That from Lindsay. I don't know if Lindsay won Trash Talk today. She did pretty good. I like that. The great leaf migration. You can send us your trash talk by, clarifying in an email. Subject line, trash talk to talk at ryanjesperson.com. These are all real messages received from real talkers just like you. We wish you all a very happy Thanksgiving long weekend. We're going to take the Mondays with our families. Johnny's got wonderful anniversary plans in store for JC. I just can't wait to hear all about all the amazing things that you did for your beautiful bride.
Thank you very much.
And we'll be back. Much love to both of you, Johnny, and to the rest of you that make Real Talk part of your weekly routine. Thanks for liking us on episodes on YouTube. Thanks for subscribing to our podcast wherever you find it, rating it, reviewing it, and telling your friends. We'll talk to you again soon.